Texoma Exotics presents Not Another Reptile podcast.
There we go. Hello.
Welcome to the show.
And of
Shane
course,
says he's first.
And he actually is this time. It's not a lie. No BS in there.
He says it no matter what.
Yeah, he does. B&T, what's up, man? And then we have, who's this guy? Who's this Patrick guy here? What's up,
We
Patrick?
see him all the time.
So Tyler can't make it tonight. He's on his way from a show. Jamie's having technical difficulties, but she's on her way. So, hey, Jamie. So it's just us three right now. So
That's right.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Travis. You got good questions.
Do I have a good question? Well, first of all, welcome to the show, Adeline. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You bet.
What's up, Mike?
How have things been? I saw you at Tinley. Looked like you had lots and lots of action. I got a couple things from you there. I'm sure a bunch of other people did. Give us a little bit of a backstory, which you've probably done 900 times already on other podcasts, but just give us a rundown on how you got to where you are, vending reptile art at shows.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people don't realize that it all kind of happened, truthfully, by accident. It's something that snowballed into this that I never really set out to be a reptile artist. And it's kind of, I guess, funny how it all began. So I've been working in the animal industry since I was 14. So I worked at mom and pop pet stores, a wildlife discovery center, Birds and Bees pet shop, and have been, keeping and breeding reptiles and attending shows for, I don't know, since probably about like 2011 or so was the first Tinley I had gone to. But previous to that, I've just always been working with animals. And in 2017, so my, at the time, boyfriend and I, we got job offers to be he's a photographer, and I was doing graphic design on the side, and became a photography graphic design team for an auction company that was out of state. So we packed up and moved, and, I figured, I need to get a grown-up job and do something serious. And everybody has been telling me, you're working with animals. When are you going to get a real job and all that? So, got that job, and it turned out not to be what they had promised us. And so the first 6 months were great, but then it went downhill really fast. And so I moved away from the community. I, was attending shows all the time, all night. Local friends were all keepers too, so I missed it. And so I decided to start drawing animals on the side for an Inktober challenge, just for fun, because I hadn't drawn in so long that I kind of wanted to get back to it and feel that connection back to the community again. So I was just kind of doodling them. And next thing I know, I've got friends that are like, hey, would you draw my snake? Hey, could I pay you to draw my, X, Y, and Z, different reptile species? And sure enough, I started getting logo requests and different commission requests. So then I would stay up. I'd get home at like 8 o'clock at night, and I'd stay up till about like 1 or 2 in the morning working on this. And I got to the point where I was doing better with my side hustle than I was at my salaried job that I moved out of state for. And with just how rough things were going there, and it just kind of sucked the life out of me. And I found something new that I really enjoyed, that I was very passionate about. I was encouraged to then go full time with it. So I did. And of course, it was February of 2020, right before everything went down.
Right.
So I had saved up for my first expo, and, just did everything I could. I didn't have enough inventory at that time yet to even really do a whole lot in terms of vending. Because I had just started out, and so I had maybe like 5 or 6 prints, and got a bunch of prints made, getting ready for Tinley. This is gonna be my first time vending with artwork, and then everything got canceled. But the community was just so amazing, because I'm sure everybody's heard about what happened after that Tinley got canceled. People were going in the hotel rooms, and everybody was still supporting each other and helping each other out, and so people were really awesome and buying my artwork online. So I was able to ship stuff out, and I started live streaming. So it was a really good way to, continue to stay connected. And I really appreciate the support everybody gave me at that time. And then here I am, 2025 now, and we've got we've got a studio that I'm working out of, and I'm working on some really big projects. This is kind of the year that I'm dedicating to pieces I've wanted to do for the last few years. So it's been fun getting to work on those and trying to be as productive as possible before show season kicks on again in August.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Wow, you got a lot going on. And you have a Patreon
That was a
also, right?
long answer.
No, that's good.
There
You
we
also
go.
got a Patreon where you give drawing lessons, if I'm correct, right?
I am working on making basically a step-by-step tutorial. So something I'm new at. I'm not very well versed when it comes to teaching artwork. That is new to me. So I've been working with some Patreon members and getting their feedback and working on tutorials. But putting videos together is a lot of work. And so it's something that we're working on.
That's awesome. So you have a question here. Are you still currently making logos?
So I did cut back quite a bit earlier in the year, but yes, I do still make logos. I don't take on as many projects as I used to in the past, but I am currently open for commission before expo season starts. So yes, feel free to check out my website. I've got commission info, logo info on there, and I'm running a special on traditional commissions right now too.
Nice. What is that? Is that AdelineRobinsonArt.com? Is that the? Yep. Okay. So anybody can go check that out. That's good. So when did you start drawing? I mean, is this something you've always done as a kid and you grew up doing it?
Pretty much, yeah. I've always been doodling and drawing as long as I can remember. Yeah. I don't remember this, but a story I was told by my mom was so growing up, my favorite books were all anatomy textbooks, veterinary manuals. That was like what I lived for. Those were my favorite books as a kid. And so I had a lot of veterinary books, and I came to school. I don't know how old I was. I was pretty small, and was drawing the gestation stages of a dog with puppies internally. And so my mom got I'm guessing probably like 5 or 6 or so. I don't remember, but my parents got a call from the teachers. They're like, hey, could we maybe talk to you guys about like maybe something going on at home, or we just, want to get a little bit more information about this. And I was trying to recreate all the diagrams that I was seeing in my biology textbook. So it's something I've always kind of done on and off. I did a lot in high school, but then I stopped doing artwork for like 8 or 9 years because I was just focused on working with animals, and I'd maybe doodle a little bit a couple times a year for friends, but that was about it.
Yeah. So my daughter, she's an artist as well, but she does more of the cartoon anime stuff.
Oh, awesome.
And she does it on skateboards. So, art it's an amazing business to get into if you have that talent. So Travis come up with a little thing for us this evening. And we're just going to show you how talented we are.
Well,
we want to brag on ourselves a little bit.
What we're really doing is we're testing Adeline real time to see if she's the real deal. Right. So we're gonna do a draw off, and we're gonna do 30-second art. So we're gonna have 30 seconds to draw a picture. Adeline, you get to pick what it is.
Oh, what it is?
We're all competing, and we're gonna have the folks in the comments vote on it, and they'll let us know who the best artist is. And the winner gets, I would say, probably 10,000 non-redeemable points that don't mean anything or do anything whatsoever. So
let me get my glasses on.
So, Adeline, what you get to pick, because believe it or not, all 3 of us are closet Da Vinci's. We don't tell anybody.
I'm the joke person. That's my job.
Jamie draws jokes too.
No.
Get my.
Travis draws flies.
A crayon here.
A crayon.
Honestly, drawing from memory is really tough. It is not easy.
So, Adeline, what would you like for us to draw as a competitive subject?
As a competitive subject, I think a hognose would be fun.
Hognose?
Yeah.
All right. So the subject matter is the hognose snake.
All right.
And so
Tell us when to start. Set, go.
All right, 30 seconds.
Dang, that's not enough time for anything.
Wait,
No, I haven't
Adeline,
even
are you
put pen and
drawing?
paper yet. Hang on. Don't start yet.
Adeline, you got to draw too.
Oh, shoot. Right. Give me 1 second.
'Cause this is real-time competition where we all beat Adeline.
Oh, that's terrible.
I need a different color.
Yeah, when it comes to drawing from memory, it's tricky.
And it's only 30 seconds. That's barely enough time for me to draw a straight line.
Yeah. All right. Are we all starting at the same time or on our own time?
You can do it on just whenever you want.
Okay.
I have to do mine over again. Somebody in the chat's going to have to call time.
We're probably closing in on 30 seconds. I'm just going to arbitrarily say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done.
Done.
All right. Now we're all going to hold up our art to the cameras and we'll have the folks in the chat vote on it. All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hold them up.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry.
Jamie, you cheated.
I see what you did there.
I got one of those too. There's my hog nose.
That was a good job, Holly. Yeah.
Love it. Spaceballs.
All right. Do we have anybody in the
Balls.
chat? Give
We
us
got the whole
a
collection.
vote.
We're getting more of these. These are great.
Come on, y'all. You got to vote. Vote
Well,
for
if
me.
nobody votes, I win by default because I came up with the idea.
That is a good idea.
Holly, that was a really good snake. I'm proud of you. That was pretty cool.
Look at hers. It's amazing. Like, I couldn't do that.
No.
Well, it's like a sock puppet.
Mark.
You got
That's
a
awesome.
legit smile.
Puppet. Oh, maybe I could have done it if I thought of that.
Oh, sock puppet.
This one's a gecko on
Sand
the
boas for
windshield.
sure. Oh, that was great. Just
That's a
holding
gecko
on.
on the windshield there.
I had a frog, a little gray tree frog on my windshield driving home once from my uncle's, and it looked like that, except he was a little flappier.
Well, we got one for Holly and one for Adeline, so it's a tie. So I guess you guys
As
will
long
both
as
get
Travis
5,000.
doesn't win, I'm happy.
You guys both get 5,000 points that are not redeemable anywhere for any amount of anything.
Well, they're
Oh,
bragging rights on the
congratulations.
show. So you get that.
There we
You
go.
can use the points on the show for something.
Oh, look at here. Stan the man. Oh, that's great. This is fun.
All right. Well,
So I was actually there when you got married. That was so amazing. Like, that was my first time in Tinley. A lot of firsts for me.
Oh, really?
First time meeting like my ex co-host and a lot of friends there, and I didn't know you at the time or anything like that, and that was just like, whoa, like that's whenever I really knew how strong the community could be, because like after the wedding it was the auction.
That was
It was
insane.
in the thousands, y'all, like double digits.
I did not
Yeah.
expect that. We did not expect that at all. We were floored, honestly. Like I was like in tears. I just couldn't believe it. I mean, I have felt so much love from the community, and I'm just so like every day I'm just super grateful to be a part of it, because truthfully every aspect of my life for the most part is what it is because of it. And forever grateful. So many wonderful people. And man, like it was such a blur, but it was so I don't know how to describe it. Like just elated being there and being able to share that with everyone.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. So you got married at Tinley, huh?
Yeah, so Chris and we actually met at Tinley. So it was March 2014, Tinley, and he was sitting at the time, there used to be a fireplace in the lobby of the hotel. And he was sitting down, and I sat down next to him and chatted him up, and ended up becoming friends for, several years. And like literally my entire course of my life is like changed based off of that show. And I met so many wonderful people that show, and made so many great connections. And it's just, I was a little bummed that they ended up remodeling it because they got rid of that fireplace where we met, and I wanted to take a new photo there. But we took photos over there anyway, but it was really awesome to be able to share that with everybody. And so many people are like, oh, that's so tacky, or like, what, you want to get married at a reptile show? Like, that's so weird. But like I said, that's where we met. That's where our, relationship is kind of blossomed and grown, is with our friends at the expos. And so many people have been a part of that. And I wanted to include, my close friends, the community. And there isn't really any other way that you're going to be able to get, your friends from California and New York and, the folks from the UK all in one spot, outside of that. So we thought it would be perfect to kind of celebrate where we had met and with everybody that, we've become friends with over these last 10 years.
Oh, and I can tell you, it was really interesting. So that was right around the time where I started getting online and doing Instagram lives and getting into the community. And so I had no idea that it was you until Holly told me, but I just remember going on a live and I'm like, this is pretty cool. There's people getting married at the reptile show.
Yeah, and that was great. Great idea.
Yeah, I was at your wedding and I didn't even know you. So that was wonderful.
Well, thank you for being a part of it.
You were saving money with having, like, you didn't have to fly all your friends in because they're already there. You looked amazing. It was just all around just a very awesome, unique experience for me, being my first time in Tinley, to be able to see a wedding too. I mean, I was like, how cool is this? So yeah.
It was a lot of fun being able to share that.
Cool. The only thing that matters is that you guys enjoyed it. People think it's weird, so be it. Let them think it's weird. Weird is cool.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, usually once people asked about it, after people asked about it, and once they realized like the backstory on it, they're like, oh yeah, okay, no, that makes sense. Yeah. But initially, usually like people's reactions were like, what do you mean?
It's the same reaction when you say you're going to a reptile show, probably, or that you have snakes in your house. They're like, what?
Yeah, I get that a lot. What? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was my next question for you. Do you have or keep any reptiles or?
Yes. So I actually have for a very long time. However, I did downsize quite a bit once I started doing art full time. So I currently keep tree monitors and I breed red striped gargoyle geckos. It's kind of the last of my collection. I used to have a really big variety where I had Amazon tree boas, emeralds, retics, larger monitors. I was breeding yakkies. I had a pretty big collection to maintain. And I just kind of got to the point when I started with the artwork that I was traveling more. I was hitting up more expos. And when I first started, I was living out of state in Indiana. And so I didn't really have someone to be able to take care of everything when I was gone. As you know, it was harder for me to find somebody to watch everything when I was gone. So we downsized. And so that's what I currently keep now. And I'm really bad about posting them. Like, I've got a ton of gargs for sale, but I just don't ever post them online. I do bring them to Tinley and I bring them to Schaumburg, the local shows, but I don't travel with them. So they pretty much just hang out at home and get, there's just so many holdbacks.
Yeah, right. I know that feeling. Way too many.
Yeah.
Dustin had a question earlier. Did you get any wedding snakes?
I was offered wedding snakes. We were offered some really awesome animals, but again, because we downsized so much, we had to decline. It was very nice thoughts, but we don't want to take anything else on and have more than we can handle. So it was very appreciated. But we got some really awesome plants. We got some really cool stuff. We got some supplies, and so we're very grateful to have a lot of fun goodies to bring home.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
and lots of money.
Very grateful for that. That year too.
That was amazing.
We have invested basically everything we have or have made back into the business. Since it's a growing business, we started from scratch and from scratch. And so, everything we have has been put into it. And so it was really helpful to be able to, it really helped us out a lot.
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah, because it like all of the material that you do use, that stuff is not cheap.
No, it's not.
It's not even including your time and your energy and your efforts and then setting up and everything. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what do we got here? Are you willing to say what you were offered as far as wedding snakes? Asking for a friend.
To be honest, I don't track genetics, and so I don't quite remember offhand because I'm not super familiar when it comes to like ball python genetics and whatnot. And then we were also offered a frilled lizard, which was pretty cool. So that's kind of the extent of it that I can recall.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't have any better answers.
Oh, that's okay. Frilled lizards are supposedly marriage enhancers, I hear.
They are wicked cool. It was very tempting. It was very, very tempting.
Oh, we better do this one thing really quick.
I love how she just throws that at me out of the blue in the three-piece suit that I'm wearing there. All right, so trivia tonight, I did a little bit of investigating to try to figure out something a little bit more in line of, artwork or at least, imagery with reptiles and, our history and things like that. So you guys, everybody knows about Medusa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Right? Half serpent woman with the snakes for hair.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know that story at all?
Kind of.
So she was a very beautiful woman that was very gregarious, and Poseidon had a thing for her, and he lured her to Athena's temple and forced himself on her. And when Athena found out about this, she banished Medusa and cursed her. And she cursed her with this, with the I guess the aura of the snake or whatever you want to call it, because it means a couple different things. One thing it means is eternal. So she is, eternally, well, she was until, what's his name cut her head off. But anyway, she was supposed to be, eternally damned. And then snakes are, very closely in Greek mythology tied with Hades and evil and things like that. And so that part, in addition to the, anything she cast her gaze upon turns to stone. And that was meant so that she could never, if she met another guy, if there was another man that, desired her or that, had favor on her, if she looked at him, she'd kill him. And so, that was kind of the story of Medusa and why it's snakes that are associated with her and not, hedgehogs or porcupines or something else, something weird like that. So I thought that was kind of cool. I feel really bad for Medusa. I'd like to go back and, tell, I forget what's his name that cut her head off. Hey, she doesn't really deserve that. Give her a break. But, not going to happen. And then the other thing that I thought was pretty cool is, you guys know what a caduceus is?
No.
So it's a symbol. It's a medical symbol. It's the scepter with wings, and it's got the two snakes.
Oh, yeah.
Entwined, right? And so have you ever wondered, why in the heck is that like a symbol for a medical institution or a hospital or whatever? Well, it was Hermes' scepter. And there was these two great serpents that had this huge rift, and he was able to go in and solve the problem between the two equitably. And so that is why we have two snakes that are equals on the scepter, because it's a symbolization of equality and just equal footing, so to speak, fairness, kind of like the scale with Libra. And then after Hermes did that, he was like, you know what? I'm cool with being a god. I'm going to give my scepter to the god of medicine, whose name I can't rightly pronounce, but it begins with an A. It's very Greek. And that's kind of how we got the tie-in with medicine. So he used a scepter, and it's a symbol of healing. And, the snakes are, in this context, are a symbol of eternal growth through they're constantly shedding their skin throughout their whole lifespan. So that's kind of the whole backdrop behind that. I think that's interesting that we went from, ancient Greek mythology, and that's carried all the way through to 2025, where we still have that as a symbol for healing and medicine and kind of rejuvenation. So anyway, I thought that was some kind of cool stuff. So not that you care, but now you know.
Not that
It
you
is.
care.
The fact that it's lasted this long, like you said, we're still talking about it, and it's still in regular imagery. It's amazing.
Yeah, I never really, gave two thoughts about it until I was doing research. Then I was like, oh, yeah, why the heck do we have snakes on that dang medicine, medical symbol or whatever? So there you go. Hermes solved a dispute between some snakes and decided to retire after that, and gave it to the god of medicine, whose name I'm going to butcher here in just a second. As soon as I pull it up here. Let's see. Well, now I can't find my search. I'll get to it when I get to it. Oh, God. Here's another thing. One last thing. I forgot about this. So dragons are big in mythology, right? So one of the most famous dragons in mythology is Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon, right? Very, very popular. Well, apparently the crocodile newt, which I never knew ever existed in the world, is the basis for the design for Toothless the Dragon and How to Train Your Dragon.
Cool.
Neat.
So if you go look up that newt, it legit looks like that dragon, except it doesn't have wings.
Oh man, I know what I'm gonna have to draw.
It's kind of trippy. So
that's cool.
You have to dedicate that one to Travis.
What's that?
She'll have to dedicate that one to you.
That's right. Travis's crocodile newt.
Yeah.
The heck was that called?
And it's got to have a helmet on it like that too.
Little wings.
The helmeted crocodile newt.
That's cool. That's some good trivia.
Yeah, well, it wasn't tasteless tonight, but the other nights it has been fairly tasteless. So it comes and goes depending on how much time and energy I have and how creative my brain can be.
And if you feel like being naughty.
Yeah, and I got to keep it, at least kind of PG-13. Believe it or not, it's easier to go completely rated R than it is to be PG-13 or PG. Maybe that's just me. But,
no, it truly is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick sponsor break, and then Jamie will be back with your jokes.
Cool.
If you need to accelerate your breeding plans, use Charlie at Grey Rider Reptiles for fast and reliable shed testing services. His testing services offer both speed and accuracy, ensuring that you receive dependable results in a timely manner. As a valued customer, he is happy to offer you a 15% discount on your purchase. Visit www.shedtesting.com and use code Texoma15 during checkout to take advantage of the offer. Limit of 2 users per customer.
Meet Sammy, a ball python breeder with a specialty in the pipe project. When you meet him, don't be shy to ask questions about his snakes, as he loves to share his knowledge and experience with others. He is a friendly and approachable guy who is always happy to chat with fellow reptile enthusiasts. Whether you are a seasoned snake breeder or just starting out, Sammy is the perfect person to connect with if you are interested in the pipe project. So keep a lookout for that hot pink shirt.
Python Suzy. He's been professionally fondling pythons since April 2024. Before that, it was just for fun. He has balls and golans, and soon he'll have dwarf Burmese pythons in his collection. He loves dark clowns, leopards, and long walks on the beach with sunsets. He thinks orange dream and blackhead are salt and pepper on a good steak. Hit him up. He'll talk about just about anything.
That kills me every time.
Okay, so I guess you would call them dad jokes or whatever. And so before you coming on, I did all of them with an artist theme. So I have 3 jokes, and I'll give you guys just like a little bit of time to try to come up with an answer. Holly loves my jokes. She thinks they're hilarious. She just chooses not to laugh every week. She forces herself not to laugh to try to give me a complex, but I know she thinks they're funny. It's okay. So it says, what kind of shoes do artists wear?
None because they can't afford them.
Oh, they wear Skechers.
I need to get myself a pair now.
There you go. Why was the artist a good cowboy?
Because they can draw flies.
He's quick on the draw.
Quick on the draw.
Quick on the draw. And the last one, which farm animal is also a famous painter?
The pig from Charlotte's Web.
Well, this is a pun. I'll give you, this is a play off of a name. And the first name is Vincent.
Picasso?
Vincent. And it's a farm animal.
Van Gogh?
Van Gogh. There you go.
Actually, I had a goat named Vincent Van Gogh.
Nice. See, that's awesome. I didn't even know that. I'll just pretend like I did. There's your taste like the snack. I took care of the facts for you, Travis. There you go.
Need some Skechers now.
Yeah, man, I love Skechers. Those are my favorite shoes. They're so comfy.
So we don't have Tyler on tonight. Does anybody have any good weekly pointers for him?
Well, I could say don't freak out if your girls go overdue, because I've got one that's 11 days past due and she still hasn't laid. And she's a first-time mom, so I don't know if that's the thing, but she looks fine. She doesn't look swollen anywhere. So don't freak out if they go past the 60 days. Sometimes they're just going to go past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why she's doing it, but don't freak out.
Don't freak out.
One thing I did recently.
Patreon. That's the tip of the night. Get in the Patreon. Hook up with some people. Find people who have the knowledge that if you are about to freak out, get in the Patreon. There's a whole bunch of good ones. Billy's one is good. I've been in that one. I really like Shade at Small Town Exotics because it's small and you can get your questions answered very, very fast. But find your people. That way, especially for new breeders, new people getting into anything, you're going to have questions. And anything, there's a learning curve. So find your people that can help you flatten the curve.
That's right. And anytime I force feed a snake, I think of Jamie and her advice.
I don't assist feed. Assist feed.
Assist feed. Well, call it what you want. Here at Python Suzy, it might have been, no, it was assist feed. It actually went great. And that snake is now, she is such a good eater that when I even get close to her tub with a rat, she strikes the tub before I even open it. So yeah, so she's now one of my strongest eaters. But I would say one thing that I tried that seemed to work was for my picky eaters, and I've got a couple of them. I dipped the mice or the rats in chicken broth and fed them, and that seemed to work like a charm.
I've done that, and it helps so much too.
Oh, yeah, I've never heard of that. I will definitely try that for sure.
I learned that from catfish.
From live to frozen thawed, using that too.
Yeah. So I did the frozen thawed. I put them in the sous vide, and I put just a little, what do you want to call it, like a little mini baster of, a couple tablespoons of chicken broth in there while I'm thawing them or thawing them out. Yeah, thawing them, defreezing. And so it seems to work. I had one boy that he wouldn't eat. I couldn't get him to eat anything live, frozen thawed, nothing. And he's eaten twice in a row now. So
Is that Twidget?
No, he'll eat live.
He's
He'll
a
eat
turd.
live.
Okay.
But no, I have that Blackhead Confusion Fire guy. He's a good breeder, but he went off of food a really long time ago, and so I've been using him very scarcely. Watching his weight. As soon as he dropped weight, I was like, well, I'm going to take him out of rotation, but I got him to eat. So now he's eating. So
I teach him to eat, but he won't breed. He's being a turd. So.
So, Adeline, do you have any artwork you want to show off right now?
Oh,
Do you have
yes.
anything handy?
I don't have anything on hand, so I'm currently not home actually. But there is a couple pieces over my shoulders.
Okay.
So I'm at my buddy Danny's place, and I've got a Lonesome George piece that I did, and I customized it for him.
Oh my
that's really
goodness.
nice.
Oh, the Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, he's a
Raphael, is it red or orange? I can't see.
I love it.
Oh, it's nunchucks. That's Raphael. Awesome. No, sorry. No, I'm being dumb. That's Michelangelo. Raphael's got the size.
And then there is a leafy sea dragon behind me as well. So
Nice.
he's got some of my artwork, some down the hallway too that I can grab. But I was gonna say I saw that the basin.
yeah,
I just actually shared the reel of that like a couple days ago too.
got that. I've got the Burmese python, and then on the wall,
Yeah.
I've got the Bolians and the retic. So
Sweet. I
Good stuff.
appreciate the support. Yeah, I've been working really hard this year to bring a lot of frequently requested species and bring a bunch of new stuff. So I'm pretty excited for this expo season in the fall because I've got, truthfully, this has been my most prolific year in terms of creating more diversity in my pieces.
Now, were you set
very
up in
impressed.
California?
I have not been to California yet. No, we've wanted to for several years, but it is very far from us. Oh, and Danny's handing me one that I need to show off to you guys.
ooh,
I have
yeah.
yet to go to Pomona or Anaheim, but I would love to for sure.
I think you would do amazing in Pomona because
I really wanted to.
there was, yes, it's a big show. It is a really big show, but the amount of people that come to there
That's
way
what I've
more
heard.
than I've ever seen at any Tinley.
Yeah, getting out there has been the tricky part for us because we drive everywhere. We have to drive our stuff, and we've looked into shipping, but it's a pretty big investment to be able to get out there. So if we do, it needs to be, a really good show for us. And so we probably need, I don't know, I'm guessing probably like between 6 and 8 tables. So it's something we would like to do. It's just getting out there.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Well, that would be
I was
exciting.
impressed with your table and your display and the amount of the variety that you had in the species when I saw you at Southeast this past time Bob show.
That
I
was,
saw you there, and that's where I picked
think,
up
my favorite setup.
That was so much fun. And yeah, I was really impressed with how much stuff you had and just your talent. And like I said, I didn't even know that was you were. I'm still learning who everybody is in the industry and getting in, but I was really impressed with your table. It was really cool. And so when Travis said you're coming on, I was like, oh man, that's so cool. So my son actually is 11, and you probably don't remember, but I talked to you about your Patreon and if you were going to do kids content that would help him draw, because he goes on YouTube and he will watch all of that. He's just very, very talented, I think. And I tell him about you all the time. So he's going to go to the Southeast Reptile Expo with me just to see you this next one. Yeah.
That's so sweet. I'm so excited for that show. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Oh, even better now. I'm so excited.
So when is that show?
August 9th through 10th.
Yep.
In Duluth, Georgia. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to this one. I mean, the 2 previous shows that they've had have been super fun, and they're a blast.
Jamie.
Yes.
I need to go to that one.
Well, dude, Shane on our Patreon has raffle tickets where he's going to pay for someone's hotel and you get to vend the show with him with a vendor's badge.
I didn't even see
his
any of that.
Patreon. You can buy a raffle ticket and maybe you can get free hotel stay. And you'd stay by yourself that time. You wouldn't even have to bunk with anybody. So nobody complain about anyone snoring. I'm not saying any names.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. We were talking about that before the show, Travis and I, so he knows.
Oh, it's Sammy. It's Sammy. Shh. I wasn't talking about you. Sammy snores.
Yeah, right. So yeah, that I haven't made that one yet. I'm looking forward to
You
that
gotta.
show. Yeah, it's just
Yeah, the venue is awesome. Like just the camaraderie between all the vendors too. Like everybody's super pumped for it. Everybody's happy to be there. And Bob and Mary are just so incredibly helpful with their team in terms of like helping vendors load up and load in and load out. And it's definitely like, 5 people that are passionate about this, 4 people that are passionate about this. So it's really appreciated.
Yep.
That's
Well,
awesome.
I bought my first snake off of Bob, and that was in, oh my goodness, 2021. So ever since then, he's my go-to guy. Now, people used to be like, "Oh my gosh, where'd you get that snake? Who do you think I got it from?" I mean, don't ask me stupid questions. But his stuff is so good, and he works well with other people.
She's talking about me. I asked that stupid question. It was me.
No, it's not just you, Jamie.
Oh, she must be talking about me too then.
Everybody does, y'all. If I don't breed it, pretty much it come from Bob Boo. So, but then everything I make is actually a Bob Boo production too, because I mean, it's just his 2 snakes I've put together. So,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
what's up, Prophecy?
So as far as the art business goes, what's on the horizon? What are you expanding to? You said you were diversifying. So
Yeah,
are you still doing
I've
animal?
got a background actually in aquatics and have a lot of experience in hand raising parrots as well as working with reptiles. And so it's something that I feel like I've kind of not necessarily abandoned, but I've felt very guilty that for the last few years I haven't had more aquatic art and I haven't had more bird art as well. And I also really enjoy insects and I enjoy arachnids. And so I feel so bad because all of my tarantula friends are like, dude, come on, you got to do more than just a Mexican red knee. So I'm pretty excited to just kind of expand different species. And, I like everything, truthfully. I pretty much like all animals. And being able to kind of bring that into my artwork kind of mixes things up a little bit, makes it, I think, a little fresh. So I'm very passionate about reptiles and they will always be dear to my heart. And I think they definitely need more representation. But in terms of like other species as well, I also want to show off, some of the other cool critters that are less known about.
Yeah.
So
I love spiders. I think they're beautiful. I don't want one. So the only way I would have one is one of your drawings. So I think your friends are onto something there because they're cool to look at, but I don't want to touch it. So that means I can't clean its enclosure. So
you don't have to clean it. You don't have to clean it,
No, it's perfect. It will never die. You just gotta, put it up, make sure it doesn't get stepped on like a real spider.
Anywhere.
That's about as close as I want to a real spider. Make sure it doesn't get stepped on.
How I first started collecting. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I said I love the big huntsman spiders, but there's no way I would ever go near one.
Yeah.
I would have one in the house.
That's the thing. You can still always appreciate stuff and not necessarily want to mess with it.
Yeah.
I feel that way about quite a few animals too. But how I started collecting art myself was getting artwork of species I couldn't keep at home, like big species, like croc monitors and whatnot, lace monitors. So I would collect the artwork because I couldn't actually keep them myself. And then that turned into a whole addiction that I had to slow down on because I only have so much wall space. It started as a way to keep myself from buying more animals at expos. And it's funny how, when you've kind of got maybe a collection mentality or personality.
Right.
A collector.
We call them borders.
Yeah.
So I have a good question for you. How much of your own artwork do you have hanging up in your home?
In my home? None. At the studio, I need to actually start getting some stuff up. So we repainted the walls in the studio. And so I took all my artwork down. But because we were doing a showing at a local co-op here to bring my original artwork to, I decided to hold off on putting anything up on the walls until I know what's going to go and what's going to come back. Because I didn't want to like set everything up and then have to take it down again. So everything's kind of sitting in a hallway and hasn't gotten put up yet. But at the studio, that my artwork is up.
That,
just not
if I was as talented as you, I would have it everywhere. I really would. Yeah, oh, absolutely.
But it's probably like the mechanic who doesn't work on his own car, you know? I mean,
yeah. I do collect artwork from a lot of other artists, though. So at my home, I do have originals from other artists, other reptile artists, and my whole hallway going from the upstairs down to the front door is basically like those stereotypical movies where you see the hallway completely covered in frames. That's my hallway with other art pieces from different artists. That's awesome. I do still have reptile art all over. It's just not from me. And then my stuff's at the studio.
Oh, I think that makes sense. Some people also, like, who listen to podcasts or who do podcasts, don't go back and watch them because they don't want to critique themselves. So
I'm married to a plumber who doesn't like to do plumbing work here.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say, this is an original, and I'd be willing to let this go if you wanted it. So
you should bring it to an expo at an auction. You start auctions.
Frame it.
It's great.
It will sell if you draw penis on it. For some reason, the auction stuff is love the phallic things. There's so many penises.
Have you been to the NARBC one yet, Jamie? No?
Me?
Yeah.
I've just been a steer. That's it.
Oh my goodness. To be there, it is so crazy whenever it comes
I've seen the lives. So, I mean, I've kind of been there. I've seen them on lives. So,
yeah. Like there was one that was a crocheted penis and it was massive. I mean, that thing, the auction war on that was just crazy. Okay, nuts. Let's say it like that. Yeah. But yeah,
the auctions are a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at Tinley, and you had a piece that auctioned for quite a bit of money during the US ARC auction, if I remember correctly. I think that was some insane. Was that 5 figures of bidding? I think on whatever piece you had up there. I can't remember.
Yeah, it got doubled. I'm trying to remember what it ended up going for. I know the the gold top that I painted, the guitar, that went for 10, I think. But then I think the skateboard topped it because it got matched. I'm honestly trying to remember what it was, and I can't remember off the top of my head. Usually when I'm up there, it is such a blur that after I get down from the stage, I have to ask Chris, like, what did that go for? Because it's just just so crazy.
Well, the last time I seen you, you were doing a Grey Goose bottle, and that's my favorite vodka.
The Orchid went for 35,000. Okay, Danny corrected me. The Orchid Mantis I did went for 35,000. So yeah, but the Grey Goose bottle, was that the speckled king snake?
I think so. I can't remember. I remember walking by.
Sure that was speckled king.
Yeah, I didn't go to the auction. I wasn't feeling well, but I seen that, and I was as you were doing it, I was like, man, I really want that.
I need to do a speckled king piece.
Yeah, but
is there a piece that you've done that's your absolute favorite, that you've got like the best memory of the work that you did, and then looking back at it and you're like, man, this piece was like the best one I've ever done, and I just absolutely enjoyed doing it? Is there a specific one?
In general, or for auction pieces?
In general, just in general, an artistic standpoint.
The Black Cayman has kind of been a favorite of mine for quite a while. That one was pretty tough to let go. So the Black Cayman was a piece that it's basically a side profile of this cayman, and I was really happy with how the reflection came out on his scales and the amount of time that I put into it and the amount of detail I went into it. I critique myself with every piece that I do, and so for, I would say, 98% of pieces, I would go back and maybe change something. It's not necessarily bad, I'm not saying that the piece is bad, and I'm not going to beat myself up on it, but I'd go, if I did this again, I would maybe tweak this, or I would change that a little bit. And that's one piece that I am 100% satisfied with, which is very, very rare. So that's a piece that I really like a lot. Currently, the Komodo is my current favorite. They're kind of, I think, on the same level of detail and the amount of time spent. And I really, really enjoy, I mean, I'm a crocodilian person and I'm a monitor person. And so I really put myself into those. And so I was very happy with how they came out. So I do have the Komodo up currently in the studio. It's actually the only piece of mine that's hanging up that I got up right away. I still have to hang the rest of them, but really happy with that one.
That's
I'm
nice.
trying to pull up some of your stuff right now to see if we can.
Do you do any more of like the cartoony style, like the, like Spaceballs? Or yours is really, I mean, your artistic is beautiful. Your art, you're real, it's so real. It looks almost like a photo. But I'm just wondering if you ever dabble and play. My husband plays the piano, and so, but he can't play creatively. He can only play with sheet music. So I was wondering if it was kind of.
I do both. The space creatures are all done by my husband, Chris.
Yeah,
so that's his thing, and I'm so proud of him, and I really want him to do more of them. I love seeing him express his creativity this way. Those are right. He needs to do more. And at every show, people are like, "You need to do more of these," and he's like, "Oh, I don't know." Like, gotta do it. So hopefully for this expo season, I can see. I know he's working on a few pieces he's showed me. So yeah, I'm excited for those. But yeah, I do actually dabble in a bunch of different styles. So I do stickers for Dubia, and I also do the holiday post for USARC, and so they're kind of a little bit more cartoony. I still kind of keep things a bit anatomically correct, but like in maybe more of a cartoony style is kind of what I do. So yeah, I like to play around with different styles for sure. I just have kind of been pushing my technical skills with my traditional work for the last few years. That's kind of what I've been focusing on. But when I first went full time, I did do a lot of digital pieces, and I did a lot of different styles, and then kind of realized that it's kind of more fun seeing a traditional medium piece get done for a lot of people. A lot of people can understand that better than digital. So I ended up switching over.
Cool.
But sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're totally fine. You're totally fine. I was just saying he wishes he had spent more time being creative with his music than just learning how to play. And he loves to play, but he tunes a bunch of pianos on the side, and he'll have the people who own those pianos play for him. And he's like, there's so many people that play by ear. It's just amazing. And he can't.
I feel that artistically. Yeah. I actually feel exactly like that because, not saying that I'm not creative, but I'm very to the point with a lot of my work and how I work. And Chris, on the other hand, is always coming up with crazy cool ideas of combos, like things that I should incorporate with each other that I never would really think of because I'm very maybe linear in my thinking.
Methodical.
Yeah, I'm very linear, very methodical. If I'm going to do a composition of animals with their habitat, obviously I want to make sure the composition is great, but it's very straight to the point. It's very realism. And I don't typically express a whole lot of like different ideas in my pieces. And I'm not saying I don't ever, come up with random things. Sometimes I do. But when a lot of people are like, you're so creative, I'm like, am I though? Maybe. Like sometimes it kind of depends on what people's definition of creativity is, but I definitely feel that sometimes. I'm very like to the point with my pieces.
Or you're
do all the reptiles around the poker table smoking and drinking, like your dogs.
That'd be fun. That's a good idea.
He needs to do that with ball pythons, like poker table in space.
Yeah, space poker.
Yeah. Space poker.
Hopefully he's listening and he's taking notes.
Oh, when my husband walked past that table and saw that, and then he said he called that whole collection Spaceballs. That's my husband's favorite movie, and he's like, "We're getting at least one of these pictures." So I'm like, "Well, pick which one you want."
Are you excited that it's coming back?
Oh yeah, he's super stoked.
Me too.
Yeah, number 2, crazy.
Well, do y'all have anything else you want to ask? Or is there
do you have anything you want to share, like coming up, or anything real big that you want to just do shout outs or whatever for your business or whatever?
Yeah, sure. Sorry, my puppy is like running at me right now. Like, go play with something.
We just got a new puppy yesterday, so I understand.
You did? What'd you get?
Yeah, little Chihuahua mix. She's cute. She's like this big right now. She's teeny.
Oh, little itty bitty one.
Yeah.
I got one of the Lundberg's Jack Russells.
Nice.
So she's here, I'll snatch her up.
I love them. Jack Russells are great.
Oh my gosh. She is so much fun. She wants to play right now.
She looks hungry.
It's either Zoom or sleep, one or the other for the most part.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I love taking feedback from people about different species that they're looking for. And so, feel free for folks that would like to follow my artwork online. I am on Facebook, Instagram primarily. TikTok I don't always post on. And I do have Patreon as well. But I do always love to hear people's feedback of what they're looking for at the expos, because I want to make sure I bring pieces that, people will enjoy and love. And so next shows that are coming up, we've got an NARBC Schaumburg, we've got Southeast Reptile Expo, and then Daytona. So pretty excited for all three of those. And I'll be bringing a lot of new goodies. And I am currently running some really big sales online in terms of prints and stickers and canvas prints and on commissions. So if anybody's interested in getting any custom work done, or maybe, getting some artwork for folks for a gift or for their own home, I am running some pretty big deals right now. And
Nice.
I'm excited to see everybody at the expos.
Yes, that's awesome. Well, thank you for coming on. We appreciate your time and appreciate you guys too. And I guess we will see you next Sunday.
Yay.
Thank
All
you
right,
so much
thanks a
for
lot.
having me.
Good to chat.